Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the NFC South has been a hotbed of activity, rumors, and strategic moves, all aimed at reshaping the division's balance of power. And one of the most intriguing developments involves the Cleveland Browns. Yes, the same Browns who have been struggling to find consistency, but are now making some bold moves to position themselves better for the future. This is a story that, believe me, has huge implications for Atlanta Falcons fans, especially considering how the Falcons are stacking their roster and trying to elevate their chances of making a deep playoff run. So let's dive into this move that's been flying under the radar, but could end up being a game-changer for the NFC South and the Falcons' ambitions. The Browns, currently sitting at 2-4, are facing some critical challenges on their roster, particularly in their secondary. Their pass defense has been vulnerable, giving up an average of about 7-9 yards per pass attempt, which is pretty high and indicates that their secondary isn't holding up as well as they'd like. It's a problem that's been nagging them throughout the season, and it's no secret that Cleveland's defense, while strong in some areas, needs a boost in the secondary to truly compete at a higher level. To address this, insiders report that Cleveland has decided to make a strategic move, trading away Denzel Ward, their star cornerback, to the Atlanta Falcons in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. Yes, you heard that right. This is a stealth move that signals Cleveland's focus on cap relief and future assets, especially after they placed Trice on injured reserve, which freed up some salary cap space. It's a move that's being compared to the Baker Mayfield trade last year, which helped the Bucs bolster their backfield with a significant increase in pass defenses, adding over 11 pass deflections. Now, let's talk about Denzel Ward because he's not just any cornerback. He's a ball hawk with elite speed, and at just 28 years old, he's still in his prime. In the 2025 season, Ward has been impressive, tallying 35 tackles, 3 interceptions, and 8 pass defenses. His coverage grade according to PFF is a solid 89.4, which is excellent, and his EPA per target at -0. 52 indicates he's very effective in limiting the opposing offense's success when he's on the field. His completion percentage allowed is just 48%, and he's missed only about 5% of his targets, which shows how reliable he is. Despite suffering a hip injury in Week 3 that caused him to miss one game, Ward's career stats are notable: 15 interceptions, 85 pass defenses, and a PFF grade averaging around 88.7. He's also a top-tier ball hawk, ranking in the top 3 in the league with a 25% ball hawk rate, and he's excelled in man coverage, limiting receivers to an average of -1. 8 yards of separation, with 10 tackles for loss in run support. That's the kind of player that can truly change the dynamic of a secondary. What makes this move even more interesting is the context of Cleveland's franchise approach. The Browns, with a cap hit of around $19 million for Ward, are focusing heavily on maintaining quarterback stability and extending their defensive line. Their goal is to rebuild with a long-term perspective, prioritizing picks to improve their offensive line and wide receivers, while ceding some coverage to the Falcons or other teams in the process. Some skeptics point out that losing Ward could make Cleveland's pass defense slightly worse in the short term. They've been giving up around 26 points per game, and their pass defense could see an increase of about 15 yards per pass attempt after the trade. But Cleveland's broader plan seems to be about acquiring assets that could help them rebuild for 2026, perhaps even aiming for a tank in the upcoming seasons to secure high picks. Now, shifting the focus to the Atlanta Falcons, and this is where it gets really exciting. Adding Denzel Ward to their secondary could be the kind of move that elevates the team from good to elite. Since acquiring Ward, the Falcons are expected to see a significant boost in their pass defense metrics. For instance, his presence alone is projected to increase their pass defense rate by about 22%, raising their total from roughly 14% to an impressive 36% pass deflection rate. This means fewer successful passes completed against Atlanta, more turnovers, and ultimately, a more formidable defense. The numbers back this up. Ward's addition could project to reduce points allowed per game from around 24 to about 19, a substantial improvement that can make all the difference in close games. In terms of individual matchups, Ward's stats compare favorably to their current cornerback core. He's projected to have around 3 interceptions, which is double what they've been getting so far this season, and his PFF grade of 89. 4 surpasses the current grades of Atlanta's other corners, who are averaging around 79. 2. His ability to limit completions, just 48%, and his knack for shutting down top receivers could be a game changer for the Falcons, especially on third downs. His presence would allow the safeties to play more aggressively, increasing their turnover rate by about 19%, and would help stabilize the secondary that has been somewhat inconsistent at times this season. Plus, his leadership qualities, especially after the injuries to players like Verdon and other linebackers, bring a veteran presence that Atlanta desperately needs in the back end. The impact on the Falcons' Super Bowl odds is equally notable. With Ward in the lineup, the odds of winning Super Bowl LXI could jump from around plus 2,000 to plus 950, a significant increase that reflects the added confidence in their defense's ability to shut down top offenses. Their playoff chances, especially in the NFC, also get a boost. Analytics suggest that their win probability against teams like the Panthers, for example, increases by about 13%. Ward's ability to blank top-tier wide receivers, who are usually a concern for Atlanta's secondary, makes their defense not only more reliable, but also more intimidating. This addition echoes the kind of boost the Falcons got back in 2017 when their secondary was peaking, leading to a deep playoff run and a near Super Bowl appearance. Looking at the bigger picture, this trade solidifies Atlanta's ambitions of becoming a dominant force in the NFC South and beyond. The Falcons have been building a strong roster, and acquiring Ward fits perfectly into their strategy of creating a powerhouse defense capable of contending for championships. His ability to shut down passes, combined with their already talented safeties and pass rush, could turn Atlanta into one of the league's most feared defenses. And just imagine the possibilities. With a secondary that's tough to beat, the Falcons' offense can play with more confidence, knowing they have a reliable back end to complement their offensive weapons. Of course, all of this is based on current data and projections, and the NFL is always unpredictable. But if this trade goes through as reported, it could be one of those moves that define a franchise's trajectory for years to come. Cleveland's rebuild may be taking a different direction, possibly going for a long-term tank to secure those high draft picks, while Atlanta is positioning itself to make a serious playoff push and even chase a Super Bowl ring. The NFC South, which has been somewhat unpredictable lately, could see a shift in power, and the Falcons are right in the middle of it, ready to take advantage. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Denzel Ward will be the missing piece to elevate Atlanta's defense to elite status? How much do you believe this trade could impact their chances of making a deep playoff run or even winning Super Bowl LXI? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions are so important to us and to the Falcons' future. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest Atlanta Falcons news, so stay tuned and keep supporting your team. This is a dynamic time for the Falcons, and if this move comes true, it might just be the start of a new chapter filled with hope, excitement, and big wins. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons.